One for the ages, as you guys just mentioned, 25 years of age. Madison Bumgarner dominates the World Series with an ERA of 0.25, and he was a man amongst men, and a young man at that. So the future's so bright for a franchise that now has won 3 World Series in 5 years, and under the great Bruce Bochy, they have never lost a postseason series with the win in Game 7. Simply amazing. Curt Schilling's here, the Hall of Famer Barry Larkin, and John Kruk. Let's defer to the Hall of Famer on this. That was a Hall of Fame performance by Bumgarner tonight. The difference really in the whole World Series was him.
Well, we talked about it before the game. It wasn't a matter of if he's going to bring him in the game. It's when he was going to bring him in the game. And as we were sitting in the green room and watching the game, it was like, do you think he's going to take him out? Absolutely, he's not going to take him out. He was fantastic.
Bruce Bochy and pitching coach Dave Righetti, every time Madison Bumgarner came off the field, they ran up in the tunnel just to stay away from the bullpen phone. There was no way. I mean, they had Casilla warming up in the ninth, but there's no way anyone would finish that game other than Bumgarner.
Well, you had Randy Johnson in 01. You remember what that was like. This felt as overpowering and dominant. There was never a chance.
This was the best postseason performance I've ever seen from a pitcher. I mean, this was the Giants. It feels like he beat the Royals. You know, I know the defense and they score runs, but it feels like he beat the Royals, and that was impressive. It was unbelievable to watch.
What an amazing weapon to have, and because of the blowout last night and Bumgarner pitching in Game 5, look, a lot of people said Bruce Bochy won 4-7. He had a plan, and in the end, he's got another World Series title. The longest scoreless relief outing. Bumgarner puts himself on a list with these other guys, and you go to the 20s, the 40s, and the 60s. And it's been mentioned, this type of thing doesn't happen really anymore because you don't have the bullets in your arm. But this guy's a Texas gunslinger who seems to have an unlimited amount right now.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing and thing to remember is that Bochy said it in the press conference. This guy is human. So you don't want to put him out in a situation and, you know, expose him to possible injury or certainly something down in the future. But you look at him, he's 6'5", 235, John. He's a workhorse. He went out and it didn't look like he even sweated in this relief role.
Great mechanics, you know, not a lot of stress on his arm. And, you know, the pregame press conference from Ned Yost, he said, you know, let's wait and see how good he can pitch out of the bullpen. How was that?
It worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it did okay.
For the Giants. You know, the other part of it was we saw the first inning looked a little bit different than the last 4 innings that he pitched.
Oh yeah, well, this was an odd event. You're out of your comfort zone. But the big thing about Madison Bumgarner, I don't know that he has a comfort zone because he's never. When you look at the demeanor, you look at the body language and the presence, that's where he works. And that's his mound and that's his game. And he made it very clear tonight that he was going to bring them across the finish line.